If you grew up during the era of what's in my bag, pack my school lunch with me, and cute crafty DIYs, then this video today is for you. Hi, my name is Astrid Green, and you're watching the Trilogy channel. I believe that there has been a shift in YouTubers over the past 10, 15 years. I don't know exactly what time, but in recent times, I've found myself thinking about it. And in my personal opinion, the shift that we're feeling is the slow and quiet death of the classic YouTuber. Now, what do I mean by this? Vibes of the girl next door who just puts up her camera and slaps the video together, and it's very comfy and cozy. A vlog, like a cozy vlog, or a budget-friendly like makeup guru or something like that. It feels like those vibes are just going extinct on YouTube. And I don't know, maybe they're still there, but they're just not in my personal feed. And it feels like they have just kind of slowly exited from the mainstream. And I found myself asking, like, why is that? And what has taken its place, because YouTube is still here. The YouTube culture has changed. It's louder, it's more expensive, and it's built on this idea of a spectacle. It's about the shock. It's about money spent. I just found myself pondering, how did we get here? What happened? So today, that's what we're gonna look at. So let's check this out in multiple parts. Part one, what was the classic YouTuber? The classic YouTuber was someone who was relatable. She filmed in her bedroom. She used the light of like a desk lamp to light her little set, which I think we should bring back, because then I can be considered cool, because that's me. Like, she shared life hacks and makeup, like ideas using drugstore products. She showed what she packed for lunch. She showed planning her week or her outfits that weren't designer. It wasn't just women, obviously, but I'm kind of thinking at least my personal exposure, I guess. But there were obviously men, boys who also were classic YouTubers, and they did these, like, they were kind of like smaller lifestyle creators, not these massive creators that we see today with these insane houses and insane vacations. There were booktubers, and there were people who did the DIY crafts. I loved the DIY crafts. Like, oh my goodness. Like, I remember just watching those girls and going, wow, they are so creative. These are so cute. They would take like things from the Dollar Tree and turn it into a cute little bouquet or like centerpiece or something like that, or like home or bedroom decor. And they were on a budget, bro. Like, they were making it happen without dropping all of this money. And I just remember thinking, like, I appreciate them. I enjoyed watching the content, even if I didn't end up creating those exact DIYs. It left me feeling inspired to like go and do something, if that makes sense. Like, go out and live life, not as much sit and continually just scroll or watch more content. These people, you felt like you knew them. Like, you felt like they were regular normies, and that was nice. It was nice to have relatable, like, feeling like there was a sense of community. People were just like, OMG, I have that bag. OMG, I love that idea. I should do that. Or, you know, I don't have that exact thing, but this is making me inspired to want to do a DIY in my room. And the creators would respond because they were small enough where they could actually respond to all of their subscribers for the most part. Especially in the early days. It was like chilling at a sleepover or a diary, like a video diary. And I think that's because like that was social media in its early stages. The stakes were low. You didn't need a team or thousands of dollars or, you know, expensive cars, designer bags, designer makeup in order to be a YouTuber. Like, it was normal to see people build these communities without all of this flashy stuff. You needed to be consistent, creative, and most of all, real. When I found myself starting my channel and I would like look up videos, it was like how to start a YouTube channel, right? Like, what are your tips to, and everybody's always like, tips to blow up on YouTube, or even to like grow your channel on YouTube. And what they say still is like, you gotta be consistent, But instead of it just being like, be creative as much, so many people are like, use AI or something like that, or find out what's trending, which I don't appreciate as much as like these creative minds, like I said early in the day, like with these crafty type videos. Like that's what I always think of. And or like those simple day in the life videos. It's like you have to stick to a niche. You have to be aesthetically pleasing. Your thumbnails have to be perfect. You have to have a clickable title, and if not, if you don't catch the attention, like no one's gonna care what you have to say at all. And it's kind of like cutthroat. And you also have to put this emphasis on like the quality of the content now versus, again, just putting up like low barrier of entry camera, basic editing software. People could blow up from that. And instead now we have, I think, our expectations of like what is good content, the threshold has been pushed. And instead of like it has to be good visually, it has to be good audio, consistent, fast paced, multiple camera angles. It's got to keep your attention span. And like these new YouTubers, like, you know, they cut so fast because our attention spans have gotten so short. It's not enough to just have one camera anymore. That's what I do. I still use one camera, but I also have a very small channel. And so if I really wanted to like try to follow the advice and follow the formula, I would have multiple cameras. I would have, you know, a better quality microphone, better quality lighting, maybe hire an editor, things like that. And that feels much more commonplace now for sure than YouTube was in what I consider it to be like the early golden era. So how do we go from the personal to these not so personal, bigger productions? Part 2, what changed? Somewhere along the way, YouTube shifted. It wasn't enough to just watch someone clean their room, give you organizing tips, or to show you how to curl your hair with a flat iron instead of a curling iron. We're now watching people with these full productions, full film crews, spend so much money on these extreme experiences, or they fake drama, or they are exploiting real drama, like of real people's lives. Like they're faking a breakup, or these vloggers, like these family vloggers, are exposing like their kids, like if they have a health condition, they're posting about that to get people to click on to check on what's going on with the kids because they're concerned about the kids. And that's a whole separate issue with the family vloggers, of course, but it's very extreme. This is me spending X amount of dollars within 24 hours or a week, or this is what I bought with this much money. These major creators that are doing this new extreme, like they're like producing this whole, like a channel, like it's like a real like television program. Like that's the level that some of this is reaching, like MrBeast and Eric and the Paul brothers and Dude Perfect. And they can do some really, really cool things because they have the money to do it. But it leaves people like me feeling like there is no way that they can break into YouTube because the time to enter when the barrier of entry was lower is gone. It's done. As a little creator, as someone who's not trying to make this my entire life, like this is just something I'm doing for fun, I can't afford to play these games. I can't afford to dump money into this as a business. You know, people are treating YouTube like a business now, and it is, and it can be a very successful one, as we've seen many YouTubers do, as we've seen many creators turn it into their full-time thing. And I think that's really cool to be able to do something, obviously, that you're passionate about full-time. But for me, it makes me feel insignificant because I'm not gonna, you know, do the whole, you gotta have money to make money on YouTube. And I'm just chilling. I just want to hang out. And it's this whole video made me kind of think like, why do I feel that way? And I think that this is it. It's just interesting to notice what the algorithm is prioritizing now. It doesn't have to be just clickbait, like stuff that pops out. It's gotta be big, it's gotta be bold and flashy, and it better be clean because it can't be confusing. The title has to be flashier, the thumbnail has to be more exaggerated. So suddenly being a cute little cozy YouTuber doesn't get you enough views. YouTube began favoring watch time over everything, which makes sense. They want whatever creator, they want to push whatever creator is going to keep people on their platform for longer, because then people can watch more ads, makes YouTube more revenue. So these the slow-paced content, like peaceful morning routines or the Q&A things, don't really work anymore. I mean, they can work, but they're just losing ground. And these creators had to either adapt or disappear. But now let's get into part 3, which I'm calling the cost of content. It used to be, you know, like I said, I'm gonna be a YouTuber. You've just decided you're gonna be a YouTuber. You put up a camera and you do a get ready with me, or you take your camera or your phone and you go thrifting and you do a little vlog about it, slap it together, upload it, and you're calling it a day. Just straight vibes, okay? And I still think this is exactly like, I'm talking about this like ancient like YouTube strategy. Sorry, this is not the strategy. I think that this is exactly like what my content falls into. Like, it's chill, we're vibing, we're hanging out. Like, again, it still exists for sure. I think it's more rare to have this style of video, like, you know, take off and do the big numbers. Does that make sense? I'm just looking to make some internet friends and to have a cute little community here on YouTube, and I'm okay with that. Like, that's what I want to do. And it seemed that that was the vibe a lot more in the earlier days of YouTube. But now it feels like spending money is the content. Like, that spending money in a video, like, that content is king. And we see this also, which I'll get into TikTok in a minute, but we see these massive hauls and the travel vlogs have to be extravagant, and it's a designer unboxing and it's a themed party. It's not about being creative anymore. It's about how big of a spectacle can you create. And certain people, you know, these big creators, they have the money to be creative using the money, but like, it just begs the question, you're like, could you do it without the money? And it's like, what is there to make content about that people want to watch these days without dumping a ton of money into it? What's actually insane to me is watching the studies come out about influencers who spend way more than they're actually making just to try to keep up appearances. Like, that's nuts. That's crazy. Some will like go into credit card debt and film like a luxury haul, which that's a separate subject. Again, I'm not trying to like get off, I'm trying to stay on topic, but like, that's a part of the whole like social media is fake thing, because people will go and they'll be like, how do you afford this stuff? And it's like, because they're in massive credit card debt. And some people don't just go into the debt, they're treating it like it's gambling. Like, they're like, if I spend this money and this video blows up, it goes viral, then I'll make that money back. But man, it makes me wonder like how many people are just straight up losing so much money on their content these days. It's kind of fascinating. But this pressure is not just for small creators. This is also for like the big creators. It creates insecurity of like trying to keep up. And for me, speaking personally as a little creator, it's like, do I need to buy another camera? Do I need, you know, to buy a new ring light, a new microphone? Can I set up a cuter background? And y'all, this one feels personal. Like, this is it. This is the background, because the theme is cozy couch. You remember the show Big Comfy Couch? Big Comfy Couch. I was like literally like 2 or 3 years old when I watched that. But anyway, I'm hoping that if you want to be my friend, like, you love me for me and not for my background. That's what I'm telling myself. Make sure I have a thumbnail. So what's interesting to me is that we're not just losing the relatability of like these people who like are spending all of this money, but we're also losing the accessibility. I'm gonna get into part 4, the rise of short form content and the decline of attention span. I told you we would come back to TikTok. I think about this all the time. Like, we cannot ignore the impact on our brains of short form content. TikTok changed the game. I mean, all of a sudden, you know, we've got these short little videos in 15 seconds. And before that, there was like Vine and there were other, you know, videos, I guess they were short form, but like obviously TikTok algorithm, huge, like they're kind of in their own category. And then we, you know, Instagram Reels and now YouTube Shorts even. These can be, you know, good source of entertainment. Like my husband and I enjoy scrolling on reels together. Like he will collect reels for me and bring them back to me and we watch them together. It's good fun. And it can also be great for, you know, creators to also pull in new audiences using this new method, but it also creates this need for constant stimulation with these fast cuts and dramatic hooks and trending sounds. It can be fun, but it's not always meaningful. And for a classic YouTuber who used to tell stories and build relationships with their audience, and make the slow-paced content, like I think that's even harder to break through when that's what the audience has become accustomed to. If you try to keep that same vibe, that same slower pace. Let me tell you this, the average attention span online is now only like 8 seconds. That's less than a goldfish, they say. Like legitimately. Are you embarrassed? I'm embarrassed. This isn't just affecting content style, it's changing the way that we actually think. Creators are pressured to cut intros, speed up their stories, and front load the drama and simplify everything for faster consumption. And some creators are even abandoning storytelling altogether, focusing solely on trends and like virality, and the result is everyone, all this sameness, and there's less depth. And I don't know if you've noticed that people have talked about this, about like influencers are all the same person, like they're all morphing together, and I think that this contributes to that. Like this is a huge part of that. I feel this on a personal level, because I'm sitting here filming this video and I'm thinking to myself, like, how many of you will have already would have made it to this point even? I don't know. Like when you look at the analytics, I look at the analytics on my videos, I know it's tough. It's hard to keep people's attention span. So if you've made it this far, go comment, please, I'm begging you, because I want to know. Go comment Marco in the comments and I will comment Polo. I promise I will respond, okay? I just want to know if you made it this far into the video. But anyway, not just as a creator, then like as a consumer, I find myself also, like I speed up my YouTube videos, which I will never be offended if you want to do that with my videos. Totally get it. I do with audiobooks too. Like, you know, you can go into settings and you can like click the speed up, like 1.25, 1.5 speed, like works well for me because I always have listened to things that fast, I guess. I find myself also like bouncing around from various YouTube videos. If my interest is not piqued or I'm bored after a few minutes, then like I'm done. And like I'm actually kind of scared for like our collective generation and generations to come as our attention spans get literally just shorter and shorter. And I want to make like a full like video like on dopamine and instant gratification in our culture at some point soon. Stay tuned for that, because hopefully that'll be coming in a bit. My point being, the short form content feels like it's another contributing factor to the slow, silent death, like I said, of the classic YouTuber. Which takes me into part 5, which is where are they now? Our classic YouTubers, what happened to them? Some of them pivoted, some of them are like, especially these girlies that I used to watch, like they get married, they have kids, they become mom influencers or they're wellness influencers, or some of them go on like and become authors, like kind of do something else. And then others just completely leave the platform, which it's so crazy. Like I think about this, like if you had hundreds of thousands of subscribers and you just walk away, that seems crazy to me, but I can imagine the burnout, and especially, like I said, everything we've talked about, like feeling so defeated, and especially if like they used to pull in all of these great views and now people don't care about their content. That makes it more understandable when I actually think through the process of like, why would they walk away from being a YouTuber when like it's a thought in my mind of I would love to do that, but it makes more sense the more that you actually ponder on it and like have empathy. Some of them did try to stick around though and tried to make the jump, and they added faster edits and did more sponsorships, and like the casual vulnerability just kind of had to go in favor of pleasing the algorithm. There are some who have just decided to stick it out, and you know, maybe they're not as big, at least in my experience, what I've seen, it feels like they're not as big as they used to be. Let me know in the comments if you guys disagree with anything that I say, please. I would love to know, like, if I've just misinterpreted any of this. Because I know we all have curated sides of the internet, so it's hard to know like what is going on like as a whole on the internet. I just know that for me, it feels like they've disappeared, but I'm sure there are some of these like traditional YouTubers with these cozy little vlogs and chill, like slow pace that still exist, that still have nice communities of people who like to watch their content. And what's sad is like a lot of us, I feel like, don't even realize that they're gone. Like, again, I found myself thinking about this finally, but I was like, wow, what happened to these like creators that I used to watch? Like these crafty channels. Again, that was the thing that made me think about it. And then like even Rosina Pansino, she has totally changed her like channel pretty much, but she used to make these adorable like cooking videos of her creating snacks or foods from like movies and TV shows, and I loved that. I loved to watch that. I think I made one of her recipes ever, but I used to watch that all the time, and now she's trying to like stay relevant and do more trendy type of topics. And I thought about her and then these other crafty channels that I'm like, I didn't even realize that they just kind of disappeared. But these friendships that were formed online kind of just like went away, and now it's more of a transactional, like I follow you until you no longer provide value to my feed. And again, I'm not gonna say it like I'm guilty of this, because I don't know that it's something we need to say like, hey, that's a bad thing. There's just a lot more creators now, and you can pick and choose what you want to do, what you want to have in your feed. And I think that can be really healthy. If you have certain creators that you don't like get rid of them. Like not get rid of them, but like you don't need to have them in your feed if they are problematic for you. If you have certain creators who are like uplifting and are beneficial to you, then like that's why you get to choose, and it's not like cable TV where it's just whatever's on is on. But it does feel more transactional. Now let's get into part 6, which I'm calling, can we actually bring them back? Here's the thing, the classic YouTuber may be fading. Trends do come and go, and society tends to swing back and forth in these like great extremes. We see this in fashion all the time. In fact, I think we're starting to see a bit of a comeback in certain areas of the internet. Like I said, like again, not like on a major point, but you know, we've been seeing this year with the low buy, no buy, project pans, de-influencing, anti-hauls, all of those things are pushing back against this hyper consumerism and this buy culture. No, I like the de-influencing and that content like gaining traction. Obviously, I'm a fan of it. If you guys have noticed, like what I talk about on my channel here, there's this shift towards some intentionality in certain areas, and so I think that that's cool. Some creators are pushing back on the pressure to perform. They're slowing down. They're taking like single shot like videos like this where it's just one video or one angle. They're editing in slower, cozier styles, and the right audience will respond. My personal opinion is this is coming from being sold to and being influenced all the time. People are looking to be seen instead of being influenced to, instead of being seen as a cash grab for an influencer. And we've started to see the rise of low lift, quote unquote, content, and that's like people walking and talking and filming in their cars, doing honest chats and weekly resets. They're not flashy, but they're real, and that's something that I think is good, to have that realistic look into people's lives. When people do these unrealistic like day in the lives even, it just messes with our psyche, I think, as a society. I think the classic cozy YouTuber was better for our minds than the influencers that we have today. Most of them, not all, but like I think you know what I'm talking about. I don't think I have to elaborate on that. You don't need a mansion to tell a good story. You don't need a camera that costs thousands of dollars in order to be creative. I believe that there's still space for creators who are wanting to just be thoughtful and comforting and creative on a platform. And again, personally, I believe that's me. I believe my audience is still out there. They exist. I believe that there are friends for me to make here on YouTube. And I feel that sometimes when I see someone comment like multiple times on a video, like it just makes me smile, and I just have to shove down the doubt and push on so that I can find more of my peoples out there, you know what I'm saying? And if you clicked on this video because you are thinking about making a YouTube channel, or you have made a YouTube channel and you're feeling discouraged, I believe that there is still room for chill YouTubers here and chill content creators. YouTube is my personal platform of choice, but I think that you can be a chill content creator. If you enjoy making videos, or you enjoy photography, videos are bigger right now, obviously, with social media, but like, if you enjoy creating digital media, it may take more work, but I believe that you will definitely be happier in the end if you prioritize making content that makes you happy and not just trying to please an algorithm that's probably gonna change, you know, soon, and trends come and go, and constantly chasing like the rat race of trying to stay relevant, like that's so exhausting. And I don't wish that for anybody to have to do that. So I think that if you're gonna like say that I'm a YouTuber, like I'm gonna do this stuff, and even if your like dream is to be a YouTuber full-time, like what's the point in doing it, even if you could do it full-time, if you hate the content that you're making? I just think that if the content makes you happy, if you're making a video that makes you happy, it's something that you would want to watch, or someone like you would want to watch, then I think chances are there's somebody out there who exists who it would also make them happy. And if my stuff makes one person happy, then like that's my thing. Like one person, that's all it takes. Then, you know, then I enjoyed making it. I have joy about what I'm doing. And then also if I made someone else happy, like that's a win. So now I've got so many questions for you guys. Like I want to have these conversations with you in the comments. I can't even emphasize that enough. Do you miss this era of YouTube? Who are your favorite creators growing up? Do you still follow them? Do they still post? Like, do we think that we can bring this energy back, or am I living in like Deluluville over this? Like I said, leave a comment. I'd love to chat with you in the comments. I pinky promise you I will respond if you leave me a comment, because I love to chat with you guys down there. That's like the best part of uploading a video, is getting to hear your feedback, what you guys think. Also, if you caught a good vibe from this video, give it a like, maybe a subscribe if you'd like to hang out with me, because like I said, looking for my peoples out here. Is it you? Are you my people that I've been looking for? Maybe so. I'll catch you in my next one. Mwah! Bye.
Yeah, no, oh gosh. Man, I just loved Nerdy Nummies back in the day. I was thinking about Rosina Pansino the other day. Rosina Pansino. And I was like, she's just changed. She's changed. You've changed. It's not the same. But, oh my goodness, when she would like make those cute little like cakes and cookies and like desserts from like video games and TV shows and movies and stuff, oh my goodness, that stuff was